Welcome back, all you teal crazies. Trey Owings here with another exciting episode of Seahawk Central Sports. Tonight we'll be recapping the Ryder Cup, discussing the end of the NFL referee lockout, covering a wide array of varsity athletics. So don't touch that dial because Seahawk Central Sports starts right now. After being dominated by the U.S. for the better part of the century in the Ryder Cup Championship, the Europeans brought home another win to continue its string of victories throughout the past couple of decades. The Euro squad, consisting of powerhouses Rory McIlroy, Luke Donald, Lee Westwood, Justin Rose, and several other PGA Pro notables, played their hearts out at Medina Country Club this past weekend to match the greatest comeback in Cup history. They defeated the American team 14.5 to 13.5 points. This Ryder Cup victory for the Europeans marks the second consecutive championship victory in a row and the fifth victory in 6 years. Speaking of comebacks, the NFL is happy to announce the return of its regular officiating crew. Missed calls, poor officiating, and penalty-laden games have become a constant throughout the first few weeks of the season. But after the debacle of a game between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks, in which the Seahawks were wrongly awarded the game on a last-second call by an official, the NFL and its officiating crews reached an eight-year term agreement covering the 2012 through 2019 seasons. Turning now to varsity sports, the Lady Soccer Hawks hosted several home games over this 2-week stretch, including their conference opener against the Hofstra Pride on September 20th. Let's head over to the soccer stadium now to meet up with Teal TV's very own Bo Worley to check up on the action. Take it away, Bo.
Thanks, Trey. Tonight the Seahawks opened up conference play as they host the Hofstra Pride out of New York. The Seahawks are coming off a tough loss to East Carolina and hope to rebound with a win tonight against their conference foe. The Pride lead in the series with 8 wins, 3 losses, and 1 tie. However, the Seahawks look to add another one to the win column. Now let's see how the Lady Seahawks fared.
Let's begin with the attempt on goal by Amanda Holmes at the beginning of the first half that just goes over the crossbar. Hofstra came close to breaking the deadlock in the 35th minute, but a handball by Lulu Echeverry disallowed the goal. Hofstra threatens again in the 43rd minute. The shot by Janine Molita is tipped over the bar by Wilmington goalkeeper Caitlin Hunter. After a hard foul that provided a yellow card for Hofstra player Brittany Ferriella, Morgan Leibel misses wide off the pursuing free kick. Late in the second half, Lindsey Byrne has a chance one-on-one with the keeper, but Emily Morfidas comes up with a huge save. In the 65th minute, Stephanie Rove serves a great ball into the penalty area and finds Amanda Holmes, who managed to get behind the defense, but her volley just misses over the goal. In the 85th minute, Caitlin Hunter comes up with the incredible save, and the scramble to get the rebound is cleared by Jen Ludman. But on the ensuing corner, Hofstra capitalizes after Janine Molita hits off the crossbar and then placed into the back of the net by Jill Mulhan to put Hofstra up 1-0.
The Lady Seahawks and the Lady Pride had a hard-fought game tonight. The Seahawks had 12 shots as opposed to the Pride's 10. However, Jill Mulholland put one of those attempts in to lead her team to the 1-0 victory tonight over the Seahawks. The Seahawks are back in action as they travel to Northeastern on Sunday. I'm Bo Worley, reporting for Seahawks Central Sports, Teal TV. Back to you, Trey.
Great work, Bo. The Lady Seahawks returned to the dub this past weekend for a 3-day stretch against the Drexel Lady Dragons and the Delaware Lady Blue Hens. Friday's match against the Lady Dragons proved successful for the Lady Seahawks as sophomore midfielder Stephanie Bronson and freshman forward Maddie McCormick led UNCW to the 2-0 victory. The shutout bolstered the Lady Seahawks to a 7-4-1 record and 2-1 overall in the CAA conference. The match was at a stalemate until well into the second half when teammate Amanda Holmes fed Bronson a low-flying cross, which Bronson then chipped in home for her first goal of the season. McCormick then put the nail in the coffin in the 85th minute of the game with her second goal of the year. McCormick paced the Lady Seahawks with 6 shots on the day. UNCW's final match of the weekend ended in a less desirable result for the Lady Seahawks, as Delaware's Anna Lynch's goal in the 71st minute proved to be the deciding factor in a 1-0 loss for the women's team. The Seahawk offense led the game with 16 shots as opposed to the Lady Blue Hens' 12, but Delaware's defense, led by goalkeeper Jessica Levy, proved too much for UNCW. The women's squad travels to Williamsburg, Virginia to take on the William & Mary Tribe on October 4th. UNC volleyball dropped a heartbreaker in its conference opener to the Lady Tribe of William & Mary in Hanover Hall. Sophomore Paulette Grand Prix led the Tribe with 10 kills and a .421 hitting percentage as they swept the Seahawks in 3 sets, 25-20, 25-23, and 25-20. Senior Jennifer Mallard racked up 10 kills as fellow upperclassmen junior Kristen Late and freshman Meredith Peacock each had 7 spikes of their own. The Seahawks kept the competition strong throughout all 3 matches, but in the end, the Tribe's balanced attack, consisting of 5 players with 6 or more spikes, was just too much to handle. The Lady Seahawks returned home on Friday, October 5th, after a long road stretch to face the Delaware Blue Hens in Hanover Hall. As many of you know, Duke University rolled into town this past Tuesday looking to pick apart a shaky men's Seahawks soccer team. But what they found was a fight to the finish. Our very own Luke Gainey covered the marquee matchup, so let's head over to the stadium now and find out how the Seahawks did. Luke?
Thanks, Trey. Tonight's match could be one of the biggest of the season, as UNCW will be facing off against the all-too-familiar Duke University. So far this season, Duke has 3 wins, 3 losses, and a draw. With that in mind, the Seahawks will be fighting an uphill battle tonight. Luckily for us, we have home field. Now let's go to the action.
Chances in the first half came few and far between for both the Seahawks and the Blue Devils, as both teams only managed to pull off 1 shot on goal apiece. It was not until the second half before things really started to fire up. With a header by number 5 Sebastian Ibiaga, Duke managed to pull off a goal early in the second half. The Seahawks fought back valiantly for a goal to tie things up and finally got their chance when Duke was carded for a handball in the goal box. Mateo Cardona executed an on-point penalty kick just past the outstretched arms of Duke goalkeeper James Belshaw to secure the equalizer for UNCW. The Seahawks continued their offensive onslaught of the Blue Devils defense, but were kept at bay by some wily shenanigans by Belshaw. It was not until Jamie Dell received a superb through ball from teammate Nate Goodwin to smash it through the Blue Devil defense for a final goal, giving our Seahawks a 2-1 victory.
2 words: unbelievable game. With the goal on the board for Duke and the clock winding down, the Seahawks managed to pull off an incredible upset, as we scored 2 points in the second half by number 7, Mateo Cardone, and number 14, Jamie Dell. Overall, an incredible game. Glad I was here. Until next time, this is Luke Gainey reporting for Seahawk Central Sports, TLTV. Back to you, Trey.
Truly an incredible game. Well done, Luke. After the match, I met up with head coach Aiden Haney to discuss his strategy for preparing for the team. Let's see what Coach Haney had to say. All right, so Coach, with this marquee matchup with Duke University coming in, it's a big-time team. They played number 16 Wake Forest to a draw. Recently played number 6 North Carolina to a draw. How did you keep your team focused, and what did you do to prepare them for the game?
When you schedule those games against ACC teams, the first thing the kids look at on the schedule and they see that, they get excited. And it was more a case of toning it down, to be honest with you. I said to the team during the week, I'd gladly, pass on a victory over Duke to get 3 points against Hofstra and CAA. But I think it was a wonderful night for us to get a result, and I think that carried itself over to the Hofstra game as well. So. When it comes down to playing the ACC guys, you don't really have to motivate your team too hard. They all know the importance of the game and what that's the significance of that game.
Understandable, and it definitely was an exciting game. But 0-0 at halftime. Duke ends up coming in, around the 55th minute with the header from Sebastian Ibiaga. And then y'all in turn responded with 2 goals. What adjustments did you make at halftime to get your offense to pick up the intensity?
We played very well in the first half, so it was a case of, hey, let's tweak some things. We didn't have to change anything too much because I thought we we looked threatening without actually having scored a goal. So it was against the run of the play a little bit when they did actually go ahead, and all credit to our players, they didn't panic, and I think it's a testament to them that they hung in and figured that we can get one back here, and if we get one we'll get two, and that's the way we felt. We felt like we've been creating chances, and we can continue to do that even if we did go a goal down, and that was the case.
All right, well, they definitely fought back, and again, it was a great game. But then you responded with the 3-2 win over Hofstra at the last second. What are your expectations for the rest of the conference slate?
Well, the key thing is that you build on the momentum that you've started to get, and the players are very excited. They're excited to start and get another game under their belts. And the thing about this league, it can be very humbling as well. So we're not getting carried away. We certainly would like to pick up as many points as we can at home, and when you're on the road, it's extremely tough in the CAA. So if we can pick up some points there, I don't think we're going to win every game on the road. That's a little unrealistic, but certainly we need to approach the game and go out with the idea that we can win some on the road and get some points.
All right, well, Coach, good luck with those games, and thank you for coming out.
Thank you, Padma.
Thanks, Coach. The men's squad had the majority of the week off to prepare for the weekend matchup with conference foe Hofstra. The Seahawks came into the matchup with a 3-5-1 record and high hopes coming off the big win against Duke. In an eerily similar finish against the Pride, the Seahawks won the game 3-2 on a goal in the waning moments of regulation, much like the last-second loss to the Binghamton Bearcats in the Hilton Garden Classic. But this time, the Seahawks came out on top behind Michael Recchia's first career goal with 3 seconds left on the clock. This matchup had tons of action, so let's head over now to the highlight reel and see what happened. The Seahawk offense struck early and often on Saturday night, out-shooting the Hofstra Pride by a 9-2 margin in the first half and by a 9-7 count in the second. Midfielders Mateo Cardona, Jamie Dell, and forward Nathaniel Goodwin each had 4 shots apiece on the night. But it wasn't until the 15th minute of play when midfielder Michael Parrish delivered an outstanding lob into the box where teammate Jacob Van Compernel finished with the header to give the Seahawks the 1-0 lead. Things began to pick back up offensively for the two teams as some great ball movement by the Seahawks nearly resulted in a Goodwin goal. However, the second half would remain scoreless until number 21 Chris Grebish of Hofstra drilled home the arcing free kick to tie the game at 1-1. But the Seahawks came charging back just minutes later as Goodwin finally connected for his first goal of the night, giving UNCW the lead late in the game. Hofstra wasted no time in responding to Goodwin's goal, however, as Tyler Bott banked in teammate Joseph Holland's free kick for the 2-2 tie. Not to be outdone on their home turf, the Soccerhawks answered back in dramatic display, as senior Michael Recchia picked up a loose ball and iced the game with just 6 seconds left on the clock to give UNCW the 3-2 win. It certainly was an action-packed matchup, and you can catch the men's squad again as they try and even up their 4-5-1 record with a win against William & Mary this Wednesday in Williamsburg, Virginia. The UNCW men's and women's swimming and diving team kicked their season off with a home opener against the Tennessee Volunteers this past weekend at the Natatorium. But even with home pool advantage, both men's and women's Seahawks struggled, with the men losing 175-118 and the women losing 195-99. Senior Stephen Conrad led the Aquahawks, taking first place in the men's 100-meter butterfly with a time of 50.36 seconds. The men's squad also topped the Volunteers in both the 400-meter medley and the 400-meter freestyle relay. Sophomores Valtteri Hallinen and CJ Fiala, along with seniors Conrad and Michael Williams, defeated Tennessee with a time of 1 minute 32.91 seconds. Shining for the women's team was freshman Jensen Engine, winning the 200-meter breaststroke with a time of 2 minutes and 22.96 seconds. The men's 400 freestyle relay closed the group with an electrifying win over the Volunteers. The medley squad, consisting of sophomores Nick Lowe and Alex Labange, junior Gabe Thran, and senior Michael Williams, fought a close battle for the lead until Williams hopped in the pool. The veteran senior outswam his Tennessee opponent by almost a full body length with a time of 3 minutes and 7.95 seconds. Tennessee women's swimmers Kelsey Floyd and Amanda Carner set natatorium records with Floyd's time of 10 minutes and 8.23 seconds in the 1,000-meter freestyle and Carner's time of 2 minutes and 2.93 seconds in the 200-meter backstroke. The Volunteers combined for a total of 25 wins at the event. You can catch the Aquahawks returning to the water October 12th and the 13th as they travel to Old Dominion for a dual meet against the Monarchs and Richmond University. Well, everyone, it certainly has been an exciting couple of weeks at home and abroad for Seahawk sports. Be sure to tune in next time, Dub Nation, because whether it's on the field, by the courts, or at the track, I'm Trey Owings, and I'll see you at the game.